Hi guys, I'm Kelly Yang. I'm the author of the Front Desk series, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about my favorite activity. Drumroll please, writing. But where do you start and what do you write about? Well, write what you know. And all I know is that these past pandemic years have been wild. So let's talk about it. We've all been through it, from small towns to big cities across the world. And everyone has a story. So in my latest book, New From Here, Knox Way Evans and his family make a big last-minute decision to move from Hong Kong to the United States at the beginning of the pandemic. Now, being the new kid in a new country is hard enough, but Knox also has ADHD, and he and his big brother are kind of growing apart. All of a sudden, his brother thinks he's too cool for Knox. Unfortunately, his classmates don't make it any easier because as the pandemic starts to spread in the US, so does some of the anti-Asian hostility and racism. Now, Knox, being an amazing kid, overcomes this whirlwind of a world with courage, resilience, and hope. I want to hear about your stories of hope on my blog, What's Your Pandemic Story? The sky's the limit here, but let me get you started with some writing tips. Tip number 1, free write. Sounds simple, huh? Well, that's because it is. Start off free as a bird, gliding across that blank notebook or your keyboard. Here are some possible topics. Stay connected. Did you meet any new classmates over Zoom? Did you join any FaceTime reunions? Maybe Fortnite replaced soccer practice? Maybe camping replaced Fortnite to your parents' relief, and you became a child of the woods. In this pandemic story, 11-year-old Piper gets stuck with her siblings. She also discovers a love for camping. Piper writes, I remember one time we went camping and my grandparents came along. At lunchtime, we all went on a short walk to the river near our campsite. We got there, and to our surprise, there was a rope bridge strung across the river. The one thing separating the bridge from a tightrope were the skinny ropes on either side to hang on to. And my grandpa was feeling adventurous, so he decided that he was going to go on to the rope bridge. That's pretty cool. All right, what about pets? Okay, Tim wrote, I had been asking my mother for the longest time to get a dog. She finally said yes. A few months later, we got the dog. I was so happy. The next day, lockdown was announced. I was so sad, but I had my dog Cake Pop. Did you share lockdown with a furry new friend? Or maybe a scalier one? Fill us in. And that brings me to tip number 2. Reread and rewrite. I always tell kids that writing is rewriting. That's because you get to go back and reread your words and really polish it and make it even better. Make it into a diamond. Be clear and concise when you write because kids all around the world are going to be reading about you and your special experience. All right, tip number 3, read your work out loud and proud. All right, here we go. COVID affected my leaf in many ways. Did you guys catch any blunders there? Sometimes our written words are kind of like our emotions. If we don't say them out loud, we can't see the errors we're making. And sometimes all it is just a punctuation mark, or maybe there's a word written incorrectly. But reading our words out loud is the key. Tip number 4, have a catchy intro. My COVID story is almost as crazy as my mom's Zoom outfits. Business party on the top, pajama pants on the bottom. Reel your readers in. Speaking of which, I'm going to be reading from the first chapter of New From Here. Chapter 1. My name is Knox. Sometimes I just blurt words out. It drives everyone in my family crazy. I don't mean to. I just really need to know things. Like right now when my dad's trying to explain the coronavirus to us and the reasons why we're going to America. It's safer there, Dad says. They don't have the virus. How's it safer? I ask. He just said, my brother Bowen erupts. Listen for a change, not. I glare at Bowen. Ever since I was about 5 years old, Bowen's been calling me Not instead of my name Knox, as in not from this family, even though I am definitely from this family, and Bowen's from Planet Bully. Stop it, Bowen, Dad says in his stern, deep voice. A taxi beeps loudly on the street below our apartment, as if to add, yeah, Bowen, Hong Kong taxis are always beeping loudly. Dad bends down so that we're eye to eye and goes over all the risks of coronavirus again. Pneumonia, difficulty breathing, and even death. I swallow hard. This is serious, he says. It could be like SARS all over again. When news of the virus dropped on my 10th birthday a week ago, we hadn't even celebrated Lunar New Year yet. The last of the Christmas decorations hadn't even been taken down. That night, we all watched in horror at the footage of doctors in hazmat suits and patients lying in hospital corridors in Wuhan, China. I could hear the doctor saying in Mandarin, "People are dying. We need help." No one even ate my rocket ship birthday cake, even though I worked on it with my little sister Leah for hours, and we used so much frosting. What happens if we don't leave? Are we all going to die? I ask. No, Dad says, in that patient yet worried tone he uses when I ask him if my finger will melt if I hold it over a candle for a really long time. But I think it'll be better for you guys if you go to California. If it's anything like SARS, we can't take any chances. Leah and I look at each other alarmed. What do you mean, you guys? You're not coming? Dad sighs. Unfortunately, I have to stay behind and work, but Mom can take you. All her deals are on hold for now anyway. Mom's a banker. Her office building has lots of windows and lights up Central District, Hong Kong, even at night because people are always working. It'll be fun. It'll give us a chance to bond, Mom says brightly, looking up from her work phone. We're at the kitchen table, and even though there's a no phone policy at the kitchen table, a rule Mom came up with, she always forgets and sneaks peeks at her phone. At the thought of not going with Dad, I groan and kick my chair leg with my foot. It hurts, but I don't say ow in front of Bowen. For how long? Bowen asks. Until this thing is over. A month, maybe? Dad answers. He crosses his fingers. Hopefully, it'll be all over by February. A whole month? I shake my head. No, I can't. I can feel the tears building inside. Dad's my best friend. He's the one who tickles me to bed every night, who picks me up from after-school soccer, and my little sister Leah from after-school art every day, who hasn't missed a single soccer match, even when Mom's traveling for work, who's always there for us. I can't be gone from him for that many days. I'm not going, I say. Being stuck in America with my big brother will definitely kill me before the virus does. I'll take my chances here. Bowen immediately takes one of the surgical face masks on the counter and puts it on his face like I'm already contagious. What a wimp. My little sister Leah tries to reason with me. But Knox, we can go to your beach. I give her a faint smile. Knox Beach in Northern California is the beach I was named after. We go there every summer to our little house in El Tercera, which my grandma Francine left Dad. It's right outside Berkeley, where Mom and Dad both went to college. There's a hill by our house with wild horses. I love summers in El Tercera because it's really the only time we get to spend with Mom. The rest of the year, she's always so busy working. Summer Mom takes us to the movies and to get frozen yogurt. Winter Mom loads us up on tutors and tells us not to bug her because she's got to reply to this. Maybe it will be fun. I've never been to Knox Beach in the winter. But then I look at Dad and my excitement dissolves. I vow not to ditch him for a beach. Nope, I shake my head. Mom stares at me. Knox, why do you always have to be so difficult? Bowen yells from behind his mask. Mom orders Bowen to take his mask off his face right this instant and starts counting them. There's still 27 left, including the one Bowen just wore for 2 seconds. Ew, I'm so not wearing that one. She hugs the box of masks in her arms as she looks out the window at the long line of people waiting in front of the pharmacy downstairs. It's late January and freezing cold outside. Still, the line of shivering people snakes all the way down the street, even though every pharmacy in Hong Kong is completely out of masks. These are more precious now than gold, Mom reminds us in Mandarin. Mom always speaks to us in Mandarin when something's really important. The only reason we got ours was because Mom's friend, Auntie Jackie in California, FedExed them to us. Mom says that's the sign of a true friend. I only have 2 true friends in the world, Dad and my friend Amir, who moved back to London. It took me 9 whole years to find him because of my blurting things out problem. In the end, all it took to lose him was a raise for his dad. I can't compete with a raise. That's the thing about going to school in an international city like Hong Kong. People are always moving. Thankfully, I still have my other best friend, and I'm not leaving him behind. Finally, tip 5, add the heart. Whatever you write, write from your heart. And I'm going to read from you an extra special scene from New From Here, which really captures the heart of the story. It's when we first go into distance learning. Do you guys still remember that week? Chapter 87. It is total chaos as everyone cleans out their desks and bombards Mrs. Turner with a million questions about how online school is going to work. How long will schools be closed? Do you know? Simone asks. At this point, it's hard to tell. I've put enough assignments and worksheets in this packet to last you for 2 weeks. If it extends beyond that, we'll just have to figure it out. For now, I want you all to know that the most important thing is that you keep reading. Jonathan raises his hand. But Mrs. Turner, the library is also closed. What if we have no more books at home to read? Mrs. Turner puts her hand over her heart, like it pains her to hear the words. If you don't have any books at home, please send me a message. I promise. I'll bring books to your house and I'll put them on your porch. When Mrs. Turner says that, I feel a lump in my throat. Never in my entire education in Hong Kong, and certainly not during COVID-19, has any teacher ever offered to bring a book to my house. I am going to miss Mrs. Turner so much. I love that scene because it's a great reminder of the generosity and courage of so many of our teachers and librarians during this very hard time. And I want us to all remember that, all the selfless acts they've had to do, the risks they've taken just to make sure that you guys keep learning. That was something that actually happened to me. My son's teacher, Mrs. Van Winkle, came to our house and put books on our porch. She did that for every student in her class. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, what an amazing teacher. We have to document this. We have to remember the small acts of courage that so many of us did, especially teachers and librarians, really pulling together as a community during this hard time. So I really can't wait to read all of your entries. But before we go, some funny things about the pandemic. Now, I know the pandemic was bleak and scary in so many ways, but sometimes we have to sit back and laugh at some of those really unforgettable moments too that we've had. And I think that you guys all remember what I'm talking about. I'm talking about running out of toilet paper. How many of you guys ran out of toilet paper? Well, that happened in my house and we had no choice but to go get the super hard office tissues. We got these instead of toilet paper because we ran out, and I bought these from Office Depot, and I call these the exfoliating toilet paper because they are not soft. What about those wild TikToks? Did you guys remember looking at your grandpa doing a dance or your best friend's cousin's grumpy guinea pig going viral? Maybe not. But we all had so much that we've all been through, and I can't wait for you guys to write about it. Send me your pandemic stories, and congratulations, you are a writer, and I bet all of you have been the star of your own gripping novel these last few years. I can't wait to read your pandemic story, and I can't wait for you to read mine. New From Here comes out on March 1st. Thanks, guys. Bye.